The world is like the law of the jungle. Animals use their claws to hunt. People use their minds to control. One class of people can control another class because they know the one's secrets that others don't know. The secret behind this is technology, control of human nature. What I say is not easy to understand, so remember to watch until the end to master it. Dear ancient masters, welcome to you and friends. Remember these words carefully. The leader's 5 power tactics. It can make people around you obey your word. An instinctive control system deceives. Human nature is bright. There is also a dark side. There's a very true saying, "Ought betrayed," just because the price of betrayal isn't high enough. When the benefits are large enough to some extent, the dark side of human nature will be stimulated. Never trust in human nature. There are new rules and systems can prevent not for nature, the darkness of man. It's said that digging graves, it usually takes 2 people to complete. For example, digging a hole. Someone came down to get jade jewelry above is pulled up with a rope. But initially, it often happens that the person pulling the rope sees wealth that betrayed his comrades in the pit. So the grave diggers evolved into the grave diggers, mainly my father. But something happened to my son, leave me in the grave. Finally forming the rules. Son down to get the goods, dad's on the rope. And since then, it's no longer about leaving people in the hole. This is actually a prototype of system building. 7 people have lived together, daily dividing a large pot of porridge. At first, they decided that AI would divide porridge by lottery. 1 person a day. So they only have 1 full day a week. That's the day they split. They began to choose R.A., a man of high morality, and as a result, people started trying to get along. Bribe that pair so it makes a small group dark. Eventually people came up with a method. Porridge by turns. But the porridge people, you have to wait until everyone else chooses. Take the last 8. To not be the one to eat the least. Everyone tries to divide it equally. Happy people get along better and better. Even if it's 7 people, but different rules create different styles. This comes from understanding human nature. Every system, it all comes from seeing the bad nature, far from humans. So a good leader, surely someone who knows deeply about human nature. We see a lot of people who take the ceremony very seriously. Team spirit is good. Do not believe that it is, because they were born with high quality. Don't think that it's all because of education. Germans have a good habit. The person in front likes to help the person behind hold the door. Some people say that Germans are born with high quality. It's not really like that. The real reason is, after the establishment of the Federal Republic of Germany, the government has set a set of rules. For example, in Germany, there is a law. If you are not careful to hurt others when closing, you have to compensate unconditionally. You have to help that person heal. These rules are very specific, very high feasibility. There's also compliance with traffic laws, queue by order and so on by time. These good actions become habits. Society becomes more civilized. Right mode design from the perspective, they don't believe in human nature. Your mode is successful. A lot of leaders have no way with subordinates. The main reason is too much belief in human nature. Kindness but soft hands. Being a boss is too generous. Give the knife to someone else. Stab yourself leading the team. A good system can turn bad people into good people. The system is not good. It can make good people bad. A good system, certainly the existence at the same time of trust and supervision. 2 power balance techniques. Balance technique. It's called the technique of using the weak. You can't let your subordinates have too much power or too dependent on them. This will reduce your own power, even if it's the company's strategic needs. Promoted to someone. You also need to get promoted soon. To balance power, when their power is too great, will pose a threat to you. It's called the equalization technique. Is to disperse the power of subordinates. We can't let either side have too much power. If any party dares to betray us, other forces will attack that traitor. You can't just use loyal people. We can't just use crooks. As the forces of the faithful grow, have to use crooks. As the forces of the cunning grow, you have to use loyal people. This is the balance between the faithful and good people. Before, when I read history, I don't understand. So the emperor was cold to the faithful, but using a crook. Later I understood, when the forces of the faithful are too great, they are for the emperor. It's no different than a threat from a crook. The emperor's purpose in using the cunning, it is to control the faithful. An excellent boss, he's the one who's constantly balancing between the forces of the faithful and the treacherous. The more they fight, the boss's power is more secure. If they stop fighting, they'll hit you. After the state captured the world, he spent 8 years to completely eliminate the princes who were the threat, and grant territory to his relatives. History has proven, king of the people with them, they are no more reliable than giving to others. The prince is different from them if he has intentions. They just want to separate. The king is different from them. If they have other intentions, they want to win the throne. With his political wisdom, save the state, can't help but realize this. They did not kill all the gods. Those who are not crowned kings, most of it is kept. On the one hand, because the north is still just, we need to keep people to fight. On the other hand, these important gods can be used to balance with the kingdoms they save. The royal families they save can also create a balance. With these important gods, the state can overcome the forces of both sides, control from the center. When the state died, the kings they saved did start to mess up. Important things are kept. It works immediately, very quickly quelled the confusio. We train all over the country, discover many bosses. Usually, there is a large special force on one side every day. If the boss plays good balance technique, team management is easy. The safety of power. For a powerful boss, in your hands is life. No matter making any decisions, always put the security of power first. We need to watch out for powerful executives. Standard of prevent. It's not that these directors are competent. Reputation, or being a good person, evaluation criteria is whether they're capable of rebellion. If the director has that ability, you have to find a reason to get rid of them. Someone who wants to rebel, it's not because they want to rebel. It's that they have the ability to rebel that they want. Because of the Than dynasty, to remove clams and corn 3. At that time, Clam Bai and Wu 3, Cinnamon somewhat despised Kong Hai, did not dare to rebel. Because in ancient times, the ability to be an emperor is not at the top. Orthodoxy. Your emperor's descendants are the most important. As long as you're a royal. Even if you're a 7 or 8, everyone will support you. You just want to be an emperor whose background is not clear. All forces will see you as a traitor. To attack so Clam Bai and Wang 3Q not dare to easily rebel. Kowang eliminated them for one reason only. It's because they were able to rebel. Even if they're dead fish, they have to be removed. Dealing with people like that, you have to be very smart about power. They cannot directly use their power, have to go through some tricks in the dark to be able to remove them smoothly. If you follow the normal process to remove them, give them enough time to prepare. Someone who is capable of rebellion, it is also capable of great destruction. Maybe you haven't been able to safely remove them. They've surprised you. We must first isolate them. It's like cooking frogs in warm water. Move them from their main position, cut down their power. They lose support from those around them. Then create mission traps for them. That ultimately makes them incapable of resistance. In this way, the removal of high-powered directors, but does not comply, will be more effective. If you do things too transparently, following the rules will not produce good results. During the Western Han period, the power of the princes became very strong. The power of the emperor was threatened. Then there was a man named Tu, directly advised Han King, reduce the power of the gods, delete the national seal. This proposal sparked the Seven Nations Rebellion. It almost cost the emperor his throne. The emperor had no other way, in addition to killing a pimp, to prove to the Seven Nations it's not my intention to reduce the power of the gods. It's the kid's wrong idea. It's really pitiful. It's become a bullet point. Face the same situation. Emperor Wu, son of Emperor Han, directly apply a very wise strategy. It's called an order. What does an order mean? The princes of the 7 countries became kings of one country. Their power is too great. It's easy to mobilize the entire country to attack Emperor Wu. Emperor Wu came up with a plan to disperse the power of the princes. He let the relatives of the princes go to work. The king's brother was mayor. My brother is governor. I'm the mayor. You're the mayor. When the prince's power was dispersed and their relatives have all been officials, they will think about their own interests. I will not listen to the king about anything. They need to weigh the benefits. So later, it's very difficult for princes to mobilize to attack Emperor Wu. This is a good strategy of the Han Emperor. It's called stop pressing. But it's actually reducing the power of the gods. BA the most powerful brainwashing art. A business is like a kingdom. The boss is the king of the business. Senior managers are bureaucrats. The staff is civilians. So the boss's art of treating people. It can also be called royal art. First, we need to clarify a concept. What emperors and commoners leer is the complete opposite. Similar to what employers and employees, they should also be opposites. You want to learn the art of treating people well, you need to follow 2 rules. The first is to accept ideas that you thought was right before. The second one begins to accept ideas that were previously. You think it's wrong? Before, you learn about ideas related to American honesty. That's the employee mindset. But today, you start learning the boss's tricks and tricks. Want to achieve? Big businesses need to love employees and customers. You must have a big heart. But that's not enough. Because many bosses pursue American honesty in the way of behaving was pranked by the staff. We need some powerful tricks to control Team 5. The goal is to realize the dream, our joint and staff. So an excellent boss must have both a compassionate heart and a powerful strategy. How to brainwash employees. The first focus of brainwashing is to change the employee's value proposition. This is the most difficult step. They require us to propagate and frequently confirmed. Because the concept of life, a person's values are formed very early. Changing a person's concept of value is equivalent to changing the person's brain. The kind we want. How to change the employee's value proposition. There is one sentence in 3 sutras selling the dialogues of the world. This is what the Prime Minister of the Song Dynasty said. It's because of this that I realize a lot of bosses are looking to manage employees in DS. We train all over the country. I see many bosses who embrace the theses and read as much as long as you understand the language. You can manage your staff. Selling the dialogues of the world. This statement is not wrong, but that book is not for you to read. To manage employees. The discourse written by Confucius to help the emperor brainwash. People use 3 diamonds 5 normally. People's minds to bind their minds. They give up the ability to think independently, the ability to resist, to conduct Lamb's type. Of course it will be easier to manage. So the argument is for employees to read every day. The boss embraces the argument of finally brainwashed myself into being useless. You say your company didn't collapse. It's not worth it, with your efforts to study the theses. If you want employees to have positive energy, tell them to read the Bible every day. When I was an employee, I tried to read the translation once a day. Very good mood. If you want them to strive, maybe show them some inspiring movies or articles, or stories of people with disabilities succeeding. Of course, if every day you have to search for books and movies, let them see. It would be very inconvenient. So, you need to combine all these brainwashing ideas. They become a corporate culture. It's more convenient for brainwashing. In short, who do you want your employees to be? Just tell them to read it every day. People need to remember an important point. Let the staff read it themselves. You don't have to give them a lecture every day. That would be useless. Remember it. Let's see how our teachers taught us as children. He wrote a pig on the board. Then tell us to read it over and over again. After school evening, they're asking us to go home and make 10 copies. No matter how many years, as long as that AI writes down this letter, we're all going to be steady and unwavering. Change the value? A person's job is to let them repeat themselves the same thought. Note, if your company's business model is not profitable, and you don't want to split the money between employees, the art of brainwashing yours will never succeed. Dante, think about taking advantage of your employees. The purpose of brainwashing your employees is to deceive them. Your business is going to die. The employee brainwashing is to have a stronger fighting power. Help businesses perform better. General rich dreams of the boss and employees. The second important aspect of brainwashing is to change the environment. You've heard the words, can you call the phoenix? There are only 2 basic human needs. 1 is mental happiness, 2 is physical comfort. By training many bosses, we noticed that well-run businesses have one thing in common. Apart from trying, make the income of employees in the company higher compared to people in the industry. These bosses are very focused to the employees' welfare. Keep them eating well. Even buy a full range of daily supplies. You're all familiar with Heidi Lau. He advocated Dung brought the best benefits to the employees in Chinese businesses. Even Heidi Lau's staff, I can eat better than you. The owner. Many people think it's due to Trong good with staff, but that's not the case. Send 2 employees to Laos. Enjoy the best living benefits. The goal is to get their bodies used to a comfortable environment. Once you leave that environment, they won't stand it. So you can understand that Heidi Lau's staff. It's almost impossible to dig anywhere else. We all know people from poor to rich. It's quite adaptable. But when we go from rich to poor, they can't adapt. For there's a saying like this. If you want to destroy someone, keep them in the safe zone. Just stay long enough. They're basically not going to be able to leave that comfort zone anymore. For techniques to conquer human psychology. There used to be a very powerful technique to control the human psyche. It's called photography. For example, when you go to a friend's house, ask if you have anything to drink, most people would say it's not necessary. But if your friends say something like this, there's coffee and green tea. Drink? Now, the survey shows most people will choose to drink coffee or green tea. At first you don't want to drink, but why does the second question make you unconscious? Choose one to drink. This is the heart of photography. Force others to follow your framework, then achieve your goal. The human subconscious often has mechanical reactions. For example, when you're walking down the street, someone says, "Take a picture for me." Thank you. In most cases, you'll hold the camera. I don't know why I did that. Almost no AI refused to help me take a picture. Some guys chase their girlfriends too. If you ask the enemy, "Can you be my girlfriend?" the chances of being rejected are very high. But if you don't ask, you create an opportunity, like singing karaoke or watching movies. Suddenly holding the opponent's hand does not let go. The likelihood of success is usually very high, because that's when the enemy gets pushed into a mechanical reaction. On a street there are 2 restaurants selling noodles. Guests come to the restaurant to order. The waiter asked, "Do you need more eggs?" Many guests say no. When guests go to restaurant B, they order what the staff asks. With this noodle you want an egg, or 2 eggs? Most of the guests answered 1 more. There are 2 salespeople selling the same product. Customers say the product is too expensive. Sales staff say, it's not expensive. Our products are of very good quality. It's expensive because it's good, and as a result, customers leave. When customers say the product too expensive for employees, he said, you hope our products are a little cheaper, so can I give you a few more gifts? The customer was surprised and said, then the salesman said, then I'll apply for an extra discount for you and a set of gifts. Could you please wait a moment? And in a puzzling way, the customer bought that product. The focus of photography is to break the fixed mindset of the enemy, pushing them into an empty brain state. It's called the lowest energy point. Years of mystery. 1932, the former French president said that there's no credibility without mystery, because familiarity breeds contempt. Only by hiding like an idol in a deep temple, you can look serious. Whether it's planning or thinking, it's hard for others to guess. You even said, I'm a lonely person, and I love being alone. About 3,000 years ago, there was a country called Media. There's a tribe of tribal leaders called the You are respected for your virtue. All disputes in the village, whether it's because of a well or because of cutting down to trees, all come to you to solve it. Clear up all the problems. The other village elders became insolent because of old age, take bribes, and become corrupt. Only the older, the Deoset, the fairer, he became the tribal god of justice. One day, Deoset got tired and announced his withdrawal. Deoset tribe immediately lost the main pillar, leading to divisions and endless disputes. No one can solve it. Finally, people decided they still had to invite the Deoset back. Deoset rejected many times, but at the urging of the villagers, he reluctantly agreed. But he made a condition. We need to build a deep palace. He hired a group of bodyguards to keep him hidden forever. If I need to find you, it's through a special trust. Even the one who serves you, I only see your face once a week. Thanks to the mystery, the power of the Deosus became even more inviolable. He later became king of Media, expanded territories from Media to lay the foundation for a greater empire later. That country is called Persia, Iran. A boss, while maintaining a good relationship with employees, you need to maintain a physical distance. Absolutely. You can't let employees guess your feelings. You have to keep a certain mystery. Only when there are no close people around, there is no too close relationship, you can ensure safety and power for yourself. If you decide to be close with any AI, that would certainly create a major obstacle for your management in the future.